Hey guys, it's Sign here with HobbiesofaMan. Once again, and today we're going to be doing a anime review. We're going to be looking at Look Back, this was a movie, sort of like it was a movie because it is not a single episode of TV, but it's also like a really short animation, right? For a film, it's like 47 minutes or something like that. It's not very long. Maybe it's a little bit more than that. Maybe it's like almost an hour, right? But me and my buddies caught the last showing of this at a small kind of niche movie theater around the area here in Dallas. It's called Angelica, and it was a pretty great movie. So my understanding is that this will come out on Amazon Prime November 7th or something like that. So if you guys did not catch it in theaters, you won't have to wait too long for it, but I do recommend that you find a way to watch it in theaters in some way. Maybe rent out a theater with some friends and get it that way. But it was a really good movie. So this movie is based on a manga of the same name by Tatsuki Fujimoto. Now, if you don't know, Tatsuki Fujimoto is the creator of One Punch Man. That's not true. He is the creator of Chainsaw Man. And after the end of the first portion of Chainsaw Man, after Volume 11, there was a bit of a break. And during that break, at least here in the States, a few different stories by the creator were released, right? One of them was Look Back, and the other one was Goodbye Eri. And Look Back was meaningful and big enough in Japan and France, and even here in the States, to warrant it getting a animation. I think it's probably a way to try to bank on that Tatsuki Fujimoto Chainsaw Man fame without having to rush through production of that anime, because that anime is visually is really good, right? And so they want to keep that kind of level for it, right? So this movie is written and directed by Kiyotaka Oshiyama, based on that Tatsuki Fujimoto story, like I said. The music was by Haruka Nakamura, and the production studio was Studio Durian. And here in the States, it was published by G Kids. And I'm thinking back if there was a Toho Animations thing at the beginning of the movie, and I'm pretty sure there wasn't, so it was only by G Kids. And basically there's only two voice actors for this movie. I don't remember their names, but they were both female, and they were really, really good, right? So yeah, I went to watch this with my roommates, with my buddies. One of them is no longer my roommate, but we've been friends for over 8 years at this point, so we were hanging out, and we went to the movies. And it was really wonderful. So the movie was about an hour long, more or less. And the plot line of it is pretty simple, right? There's nothing too serious about this movie. Like, conceptually, this is a pretty basic story of loss of innocence and of adulthood and the difficulties of artistry, right? Of being someone that is compelled to create, and the difficulties emotionally that you will deal with throughout that journey, right? So we follow this girl, Fujino, who is the mangaka, or the manga writer / artist for her school newspaper. And everyone really enjoys what she draws, and she plays it off as nothing important, right? She says it took her 5 minutes to do, even though we see her take days and days and days to come up with it, right? And then one day, a student requested the opportunity to draw a manga alongside Fujino, and this student was named Kiyomoto. And when that week's school newspaper comes out, everyone is deeply, immensely amazed by Kiyomoto's artwork. They think that she's amazing, and Fujino hears spoken around her this idea that compared to Kiyomoto, Fujino's artwork is pretty lame in comparison. And this deeply hurts her, and this deeply encourages her to draw and become an artist, right? Then she just goes crazy, and she spends the next couple years going crazy trying to improve her artwork, drawing and drawing and drawing and drawing and drawing. And it seems like nothing she does is ever better than Kiyomoto, right? And eventually this happens to end up coming back to her one day. She sees her latest manga in the newspaper. She sees Kiyomoto's, and she decides to quit because nothing she does will ever be good enough to beat Kyomoto, and there's no point in being the way that she is. And so for the rest of her elementary school experience, the last year being 6th grade in Japan, she stops drawing, she doesn't care, she goes back to being a normal kid. The last day of class happens. Kyomoto was one of these kids in Japan that just like never goes to school because they're like deeply afraid of people or in society and stuff. And so the I guess school counselor or like he was titled the HR teacher, the homeroom teacher, I guess is what they're called, asked Fujino to take Kyomoto's diploma to her house. And so Fujino kind of is forced to accept, and she does. And when she gets there, she meets Fujino, and it's kind of funny, cutesy kind of situation, right? So they have this like meet cute situation, and it turns out that Kyomoto is a huge fan of Fujino's, and she sings the praises to Fujino's artwork. And this changes Fujino's outlook a little bit. And so these two girls become friends. They become burgeoning mangaka together, and we kind of have this like Bakuman-esque kind of growth between these characters, right? And this part of the story is probably my favorite. I really enjoy the growth and development and the kind of montage of their life as they become successful, young, up-and-coming mangaka, and the relationship that these girls have, right? A lot of it feels very like queer-coded, right, or sapphic, and it was really cute. But eventually something happens. Kyomoto decides that she no longer wants to be a mangaka. She wants to go out and study art at a university. And I think that ultimately she does want to become a mangaka, but she wants to have the art background necessary to really feel like she's good at it, right? Because she loves background animation, background art, and even though she can do that as a mangaka, she wants real experience, real knowledge of it, right? And the girls get into a fight. This leads to estrangement between the two girls, and Fujino goes on to be a successful mangaka, creating Sharkman, which is a Chainsaw Man ripoff. And then tragedy strikes, and I'm not going to tell you what it is, but something happens, and this changes the outlook of both characters in a very significant way. And this was a really beautiful, sad moment that happened there, and that was kind of the crux of the story, right? The portion that really gives credence to the title here, Look Back, is this kind of magical realism moment when across time and space, the characters connect with each other and manage to have a kind of a resounding, valuable, meaningful interaction one last time before the movie ends. And it was really, really beautiful. I really, really loved it. I thought this was amazing. And I think partially that is because after having read Chainsaw Man, I basically said, I have no interest in anything related to Tatsuki Fujimoto or any properties that are made by people that worked with him, right? I didn't care about Dandadan. I don't care about Hell's Paradise. I don't care about Look Back or Goodbye Eri or any of this, right? And so my feelings towards Tatsuki Fujimoto made me have pretty low expectations about this. And so when we went to watch it, and it was this really beautiful drama, kind of slice of life, kind of bittersweet, coming of age, loss of innocence type story, it really hit hard. And I really recommend that everyone watches this. The animation is insanely fluid, the music is beautiful, and the whole vibe of it is this really artsy kind of like film festival type movie that really tugs at your heartstrings, that really understands the struggles of people that are compelled to create, of people that want to be artists, right? And even though I'm not necessarily someone that is of that ilk, right? Not really. I definitely understand it because I had moments where I wanted to pursue these great artistic endeavors and ultimately have given up halfway and just decided not to be that, right? And seeing these characters advance and grow and get to that pinnacle and then have real life get in the way is quite meaningful and valuable and beautiful and really bittersweet, right? So those are my thoughts on Look Back here. I really recommend it. Like I said, it's going to be in theaters, or it's basically out of theaters at this point, but it will be on streaming really, really soon. If you did not catch it in a theater, I recommend you watch it in the largest screen that you can at your house or in a friend's house or whatever. and just really take your time to enjoy this story, right? So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know what you thought about the movie down below. So yeah, see you guys later.